His friend slash alleged accomplice, YNW Bortlen, just took a plea deal. Now, plea deals come in many shapes and sizes. We're going to get into the specifics of his plea deal in a moment, but first, why is this plea deal coming about in the first place? Well, first, you got to understand the story a little bit. There were four friends: YNW Melly, YNW Bortlen, YNW Sackchaser, and YNW Juvy. Now, you may have noticed all of their names start with YNW. That's because they're a group of sorts, very, very close individuals. That's important. Very, very close individuals. Sackchaser and Juvy get Bortlen drives Sackchaser and Juvy to the hospital saying, "Hey, my friends have just been..." The police say, "Well, we know all four of y'all roam together. Where Melly at?" Police do a massive investigation, forensics, and according to police, Melly was in fact in the car. In fact, they have a video of Melly getting in the car with everybody. Melly says, no, I got out of the car before my friends Sackchaser and Juvy were. Police say, "We don't believe you because of all this other forensic stuff we did." If you want to know the super details, I did a video about it at one point, but because of all the forensic evidence we did, ballistics and all that, Melly, we think it was you. And then you hopped out of the car before Bortlen drove them to the hospital. Melly said, "Preposterous." Police say, "Bet. Let's ask a jury if that's preposterous." Jury said, They said, "Look at all this forensic evidence and all these ballistic stuff that we was showing. Y'all think Melly did it?" They said, "Well," police said, "we got all the evidence right here." The jury said, "But why though?" And there lies the problem. Police didn't have a reason as to why. Remember, I said all of these four friends, Sackchaser, Juvy, Bortlen, Melly, were tight. The best of friends. Melly has their names tattooed on him. So they need to give a motive. That's why you hear all that in the movies and all that, movies and TV shows. What's the motive? What's the motive? Because they need a reason as to why. We could just say anything at this point. What y'all are saying, okay, that sounds like y'all have made a very nice presentation, according to the jury, what they're thinking, but you didn't give us a reason as to why someone would, his loved ones. The police said, "Well, we'll get back to you on that." The judge said, "No, you won't." Melly at this point had been in jail for about 5 years. The judge said, "You got to give us a reason now or forever hold your peace." They said, "We don't got one." And there it was, a mistrial. And what a mistrial means is no guilty, no innocent. We can either run it back or we could drop the whole thing. Usually courts drop the whole thing because what's the point of running it back if there's no new evidence? This time the police said, "We gonna run it back, hell or high water, we don't care." Melly's lawyer said, no. You need to give us a reason for the run back or Melly has to go home. Because technically, you guys are keeping an innocent man, innocent until proven guilty. You guys are keeping an innocent man in jail while you guys figure it out. So either y'all have more evidence or Melly has to go. Prosecutor said, "Don't worry about us. Worry about yourself, because we got new evidence." Bortlen! See, remember, according to police, there was another person in the car. Bortlen, Melly, when this whole thing went down.
Sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison. Sir, lastly, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be.
Man, if you haven't heard, let me be the first to tell you the streets are dead. YNW Bortlen just took a plea deal for 10 years, followed by 6 years of probation. But he has to proffer against YNW Melly. And what that means is he's going to sit down with the prosecutors and tell them the whole truth and nothing but the truth about how he helped his two friends. And essentially, he's going to help bury Melly.
wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, Mac 11, Glocks at 9, and all these pussy niggas hating, try to knock me off my gun. But I can't let no do, I got murder on my mind. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Okay, I'm done, man. Let's be real here. Let's get to the video. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Ants right here, back on the video. We're back on the video channel. In today's video here to do another random talk video. In today's video, of course, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, we're going to be randomly talking about, you know, this rapper named YNW Melly and everything that's been going down for this whole entire case of YNW Melly. You know, if you have been following who this guy is, he is like a rapper who blew up around, you know, the 2017 or 16, I guess, you know what I'm saying? And around 2018, he blew up even more. He made the infamous song called Murder on My Mind. And it's one of those songs where basically he truly had, let's just say, murder on his mind. And it could line up what happened that leading up to his prison sentencing and everything that's going down and all that. Just that you know, the window and everything else. And let's just say, yeah, he really did have murder on his mind. Like he was a crazy psychotic fucker. Let's just say that. And we're gonna get to all of that. You know what I'm saying? So once again, like I said, if you guys don't know who he is, go search him up. I highly encourage you to do so, or watch these other YouTubers that talked about them from their perspective, and you know, still do your research about it. If you guys going to go listen to that song "Murder on My Mind," I encourage you not to because it's going to line up to one I'll talk to. But if you want to, it's your own free will, whatever. But anyways, besides that, though, without wasting no time, let's talk about this YNW Melly dude. YNW Melly dude? Yeah, YNW Melly. You already know. So let's talk about him. So who is YNW Melly? YNW Melly is a rapper from Florida, I believe, who blew up around 2017, 2018. His music and everything started blowing up, and obviously he was killing it. You know what I'm saying? He made, you know, so many decent songs. He made the most infamous song that was popular enough, "Murder on My Mind." And it was so good, it would show up on the radios, but there was a problem. There was controversy in that song because murderer was the thing that was going in, and it was on his mind. And many people, including myself, who saw the song at first, is like, okay, this song's pretty good, but if you really go into deep into it, he's literally going down lyric by lyric, explaining all the whole murder and stuff, and how it all started, and then how it's like all ended. Like he's like demonstrating like why he got murder on his mind or why he thinks of that, and the lyrics will explain everything on went down. Don't get me wrong, it was a good song, but the problem was the message behind on it is like murder on my mind. It's like, so he really had murder on his mind. So basically, he had thoughts of killing someone, something like that. That's why I thought of the song, right? And that's why I thought at first when I looked at the lyric, I'm like, oh my God, this dude's song was so good, but it was so good off of murdering someone, or should I say somebody, which this is line into what happened around 2018. So around 2018, so obviously around that time, obviously it was four people in this red car that was going around, and obviously, you know, obviously they were just going around driving or whatever, you know, said just hanging out as usual, you know what I'm saying? There was YNW Melly, YNW Bortlen, YNW Sackchaser, which is the black dude on the left. YNW Juvy was the black dude on the right that I'm showing you guys right now. They were all four in the car, you know, just driving up, having a good time. Then something happened inside the car, a shot that was running around, and you know, YW Sackchaser and YW Juvie, they both lost their lives right here and got killed because of that. So someone in that car killed them. And while that was happening, YNW Melly went off while YNW Bortland went to go drive it to the nearest hospital to take YNW Sackchase and Juvie to the hospital because they both were basically shot. And unfortunately, they both passed away. Meanwhile, while that's happening, YNW Melly was already like gone off the roof, like he's nowhere near to be found. So when that happened, the cops was wondering, like, wait a second, where is YNW Melly? Because according to the cameras, which they have the full proof of the cameras and everything,
YNW Melly was there, you was there, Sackchaser was there, and Juvy was there. All four of you guys in the car, but only two died, which was Sackchaser and Juvy. So where's YNW Melly and why he's not, with you in the whole entire scene? Where's he going on to? So that's what they was confused on because YNW Bortlen took Sackchaser and Juvy to the hospital because they were nearly shot. They were shot, obviously. Meanwhile, YNW Melly was gone. He was disappeared. You know what I'm saying? He was gone somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And according to some people, they're saying that he went to another car with this whole thing, or he wasn't near the whole thing. This whole thing happened. But the problem here is they found the footage of YNW Melly in the car in this red car while this whole thing happening, and it was shot by in the I think I was in the driver's side, I think, or was it was in the passenger side. Either way, these two got shot. They got executed completely. And you went off, you know what I'm saying? You was in the car, so they brought him in for questionings and all that type of stuff. And YNW Melly denied it, said he wasn't involved in this. So they tried to take him to trial, see if the jury was going to, indict him with, of course, give him charges with two murders. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, charged with two like first degree murders, whatever, and everything else. Which that'll be pretty like interesting. I mean, like they got the evidence right there. The problem here is the jury had they had no motive. Basically, what happened here is because they took him to trial. I think it was in 2023, right? Obviously the prosecutors they saw the footage of what happened and all that about Bortlen, you know what I'm saying, took these two dudes to the hospital, whatever, and everything else was going to obviously everything was just going crazy, you know what I'm saying? And then YNW Melly went off. So they got assumption like, okay, he probably killed YNW Sackchaser and YNW Juvy and killed them basically and just call it there because he ran while YNW Bortlen was trying to basically get in the hospital, but they both were pronounced dead, and that's not looking good. You know what I'm saying? So that's already bad enough. Obviously, it's kind of like he either panicked or something like that, right? So you're probably thinking, okay, they got the proof and everything, right? Well, there's a problem. There was no motive. You see, the jury understood like, okay, they see the fact that he's in the car with these dudes and he's not even in the car while this whole thing's happening, while these two dudes died, Sackchaser and Juvy died, got shot, whatever. But what was the motive? What was the whole plan? Like, what were there any planning, any thoughts in mind, and all type of stuff? I mean, somebody might even say, well, there was the song saying murder on my... No. You can't use a song in a fucking judicial court. They don't allow that shit in there. In Florida, I guess. They don't allow a song in there because he could be saying murder on my mind on anybody. So that's that. So there were no motives on this on the first trial when they tried to trial YNW Melly. There were no motives. And if you got the proof and all that, which is great, but if there's no motive attached to it, then it's going to be called a mistrial. And with this mistrial, either they can run it back, or they can make YNW Melly. So because they had no motive in that first trial, it was a mistrial, unfortunately. And obviously, like I said, they either have to run it back to another second trial, or they need to come up with more proof and evidence. And obviously, the defenders that were defending YNW Melly, they was like, not so fast. You need to come with more evidence and proof, or otherwise, you guys we're gonna have to let him go because you guys are keeping a quote unquote innocent man on trial. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Can't indict an innocent man who's spent like a couple years in prison, knowing that he's quote unquote innocent. You know what I'm saying? Based off of the defenders of YNW Melly's defenders, whatever, right? So the prosecutors will try to scramble to get as much evidence as they can to try to incarcerate, YNW Melly into prison. Give him his sentencings and all that, and call it there. So they were scrambling. They were panicking. They were like, okay, we've got the proof, but we need to have the motive. Now keep this in mind. YNW Melly, YNW Bortlen, Sackchaser, and Juvy, they all grew up together. The mothers know the mothers know their mothers. The fathers know their father. They're basically they're basically a family, basically. Well, they're not like technically relative, all each other, but like they're friends. Like they treat each other like they're brothers and all that. They've known each other since they were in elementary school all the way up to high school. They've been through some the downs of lows, and highs of all highs. Like literally, they known each other like that. They have a bond of a best friendship. Like you know what I'm saying. So you kind of got like take it with that and like okay. Why would YNW Melly would murder his friends? Like there gotta be a motive to that. You know what I'm saying? We can say he had murder on his mind, but what's the reason of the murder on his mind? We don't know of it, and that's where basically they need to have like a motive to this in order to indict YNW Melly into giving him his sentencing, but they don't have no motive. They have the proof, but they need to have a motive, and they're probably gonna need more of the proof too as well. So to get YNW Melly incarcerated into prison, but we're gonna wait and see. Well, the prosecutors a couple of days ago, they came up with a plea, like to say that, to a certain other individual that was involved in that incident that happened between that happened between Sackchaser and Juvy when they both got shot. And this is where we turn our attention to. You want to take a guess? That's right, YNW Bortlen. This right here is obviously on to the left side. That dude name is YNW Bortlen. The right side dude is YNW Melly. Of course, obviously YNW Bortlen is basically a rapper too as well, a really close friend to YNW Melly and Sackchaser and Juvy and all that. So yeah. So it turns out, obviously, while all that's happening, you already know, like I said before in the beginning, YNW Bortlen was part of this whole entire thing that happened with the whole entire, Sackchaser and Juvy both getting shot, you know what I'm saying, and killed. He took them both into the hospital, what he was pronounced dead and everything else, and next thing you know, they both, obviously he was also incarcerated too as well because not only that, obviously YNW Melly just suddenly just gone and disappeared or whatever, but also he was incarcerated too as well because he was charged with, with obviously with not with murder, but more like accessory with murder. Basically, he didn't kill Sackchaser and Juvy, but he was involved with the whole entire thing, meaning that he might have taken some ideal moments to where he, potentially killed both Juvy and Sackchaser. So he was charged with that, you know what I'm saying? And he was basically, not saying anything, not talking, not doing whatever. And he was basically just, trying to keep it low for, YNW Melly, you know what I'm saying? Because all these things happen. Well, the prosecution was like, talking to him and convincing him and like, okay, listen, here's how it's going to work, YNW Bortlen. You either tell us what's happening, what's going on, or you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. Bortlen said nothing. Then they try to talk to him again. And they say, okay, Bortlen, let me explain this again. If you don't help us try to take down YNW Melly, your friend, you will be indicted to go to jail too as well. Because keep this in mind. He didn't, quote unquote, technically take place of killing YNW Sackchaser and Juvy, right? He didn't technically take place of killing them, right? But however, because he was involved in it, it got many people thinking he probably have a motive for potentially killing them. So if he doesn't take the idea of helping the prosecutors out to take out, YNW Melly and give him indicted to two first degree murders, he was more likely going to spend the rest of his life in jail too as well. Because even though, yes, he probably didn't kill the two friends, he was involved with this because he was in that car when that whole thing happened. So YNW Bortlen kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to spend the rest of my life in jail. I'm going to have a triple life sentencing because he was going to get triple life sentencing for this. You know what I'm saying? And he was completely fucked and cooked. So he was like, either you help us or you're going to be in trouble. If we can't take out YNW Melly, we're going to come after you and put you in prison for the rest of your life. That's basically how it was. And YNW Bortland was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to set that plea deal. And this is where the plea deal comes in place right here, where he accepted the plea deal. Um, Obviously, he accepted like the 10-year plea deal. Basically, he'll be sentenced to prison for 10 years and 6 years in probation, obviously. And he is going to more likely going to either cooperate, with this whole entire YNW Melly's, murder, accomplice. Basically, with this plea deal, it basically confirms that there was a possibility that there was a murder that happened, or I should say, the murder on my mind thing happened on that night that Sackchaser and Juvy died. So basically, someone did the murdering. It was either him or YNW Melly did this shit. So who's gonna really take the fall here? Either him or was it, YNW Melly? So he took the plea deal, and with this plea deal, he not only agreed to, serve his time, rest of his time throughout his plea deal, because not only they credit, YNW Bortland, in this plea deal and his sentencing, what I'm saying. So he probably gonna serve like maybe about 3 to 4 years, right? But also he has to make an agreement that he's willing to tell everything, the truth, and nothing but the truth and everything. Like basically, snitch out your friend, or you're gonna get indicted to going to prison for the rest of your life. So basically, tell the truth, nothing but the truth. So basically, this confirms straight up that there was an actual killing that really happened that took place. Either it could be him that pulled the trigger, or YNW Melly that did this. But most people in the comment section gonna say YNW Melly did this. Like YNW Melly pulled the trigger. I think he did, but but based off of this though, this could help out the prosecutors that are trying to take out YNW Melly and get him incarcerated with two first degree murders. This could help them a lot and see what he can go from there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie to you. I know the street people, the people who are in the streets and all that, not happy about this. They say you're snitching out your own friend or whatever. But you can't blame Bortland in this situation. You got a 10-year plea deal. The judge even said that, man, I don't even know how you get the 10-year plea deal. Like, you got to have some agreement, whatever. Like, even the judge is shocked. Like, the fact you get a 10-year plea deal and you only get to serve like a couple years for that because of that one, because they're going to credit not only the amount of serving he is serving right now for YNW Bortland, but a 10-year plea deal with 6-year probation, bro, that's a slap in the wrist right there. You'll be out in no time. But you have to agree to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. You can't sugarcoat any shit. You can't. Otherwise, you're probably gonna get incarcerated more likely. So you're gonna have to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. You agreed to the plea deal, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, so basically, YNW Melly is potentially gonna be cooked here. Because if I'm YNW Bortland, I just tell the truth and get on with, what I'm saying? At this point, it's not even about the street shit or the gang shit. It's about your life. And I'm telling you right now, you only got one life to live, man. You can't fuck this up, man. You gotta tell the truth, man. If you can't do it for yourself or for your family, at least do it for the Juvy family and the Sackchaser family, because they need justice. Someone gotta get. You know what I'm saying? Even though they have a difference with you and freaking YNW Melly, the least you can do for that family, for Sackchasers and Juvy family, is give them closure. So if I'm Bortland in this situation, I take the plea deal, which he did. That's smart, but also tell them the truth what really happened to give the family closures, because they need this. They want YNW Melly be put either be put behind bars or death penalty. Which, speaking of death penalty, there is a possibility that YNW Melly could possibly take the death penalty, because in Florida it's legal for a death penalty. The defenders of YNW Melly tried to convince the jury to take death penalty off, which they did. However, the prosecutors appealed that the whole entire not putting the death penalty on YNW Melly, and now it's back uplifted. So now the YNW Melly, death penalty or life sentence is like right up in the alleyway right now. So yeah, so either with these your first degree, two counts of first degree murders that happen, there's a possibility that YNW Melly could be serving life in prison, life in prison, or the death penalty. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a judge, I'd probably take the death penalty and give YMW Melly the death penalty because he had murder on his mind. So let's just see if you feels like to get murder or something like that. That's just me though. I would have YMW Melly get the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? Because what he did. So I don't know, but that's just me though. So yeah, so that's pretty much everything from the start to the end. You can fact check me if you want to, but I'm explaining it as the best I can possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And this, I think, the second trial will be taking place in 2027. So by the time this happened, I'll be 27 years old. So that's great. So that's the second trial that's going to take place, and YNW Bortlen is going to be the most important person in that courtroom. He got to tell everybody nothing but the truth, but all the truth, because honestly, if I'm Bortlen, just get it over with. Give them family closure. At least what you can do. I get it. YNW Melly's a friend. Y'all been knowing each other since y'all was like little, elementary kids and all that, but put that friendship aside and give that family, Sackchaser family and Juvy family, a closure. At least what you can do, you know what I'm saying? Because they need justice and they deserve justice, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully in 2027 they do get that justice. They do need it, and hopefully Bortland does take the stance and help out this case and find out the truth, nothing but the truth. If he really wants if he really wanted his plea deal to count, whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this whole entire situation. Now, my thoughts on this whole entire situation, honestly, well, I think we can agree that obviously YNW Melly probably do got murder on his mind. You know what I'm saying? That's one. Two, the major red flag on this whole entire situation that really got me thinking that he like Melly probably did what he did is like he was in the car. There was a footage of him in the car with him, Bortlen, Sackchaser, and Juvy, right? And next thing you know, Juvy and Sackchaser are dead. Meanwhile, Bortlen is taken into the hospital while Melly just is gone on the scene. It just kind of got me thinking, wait a second, you guys were in the car, so where is Melly at? Melly should be right beside your side. After all, your friend got shot, so where's Melly? He's gone. You got him in the hospital, so like something right here. Like what is going on? Like it's pretty odd. Like there was so many red flags of everything that happened on that day, and a lot of red flags point to Melly than Portland. You know what I'm saying? So it's like okay, whatever. Um, so that's already bad enough. And then three, I mean this is a sad situation because it's like damn, you guys were once best friends all the way back to elementary school. Now you just basically just kill them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. Like imagine killing your own friend so you wouldn't for so long for whatever reason that's been going in your mind. I guess murder was on his mind, but like, bruh, it mind blows me the fact that this even happened. Like I can't believe it. His own friends, like Jesus, man, these are his brothers at this point. Like they know each other a very long time, and the fact that this dude took out two of his friends, because mind you, there were no drive-by shooting. All the shooting happened inside the car. So it's like, how could there be a drive-by shooting when all this stuff happened inside the car? So it's like, okay, like it makes no sense. So, yeah, this is a pretty tragic situation, and honestly, man, I just hope that the families of the Sack Chasers family and Juvy's family they both get justice for what they truly deserve, and then we could call this down the line. You know what I'm saying? I just hope they both get justice, and whoever's guilty on who, they suffer the consequences of it. You know what I'm saying? So, YNW Melly, They got to do a second trial here in 2027. So I guess in 2027, I guess we'll talk about this again, unless maybe Bortlen don't want to take the stance, which I don't know as of this moment if he don't want to. I don't know. You tell me. Anyways, besides that though, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. What I'm saying? That's pretty much it. Let me know in the comment sections down below how you feel about the whole entire YNW, Bortlen taking the plea deal, and also how you think about the whole entire YNW Melly, situation. Do you think he did it, or do you think he not did it? Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how you feel about this whole entire situation. Yeah, man. The only thing I hope for is justice for their family, the Sackchasers and obviously Juvy's family, because they deserve it, they need it, and honestly, someone got to pay for it. So either it's gonna be Melly, or Bortlen, someone. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, take care of them out. Peace. Also, before I get out of here, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to Sackchasers and Juvy's family for their loss of their loved one. Rest in peace to Sackchaser and Juvy. Hopefully, they get justice what they deserve, and they can finally move on from this whole entire thing. It's very tragic, and rest in peace to Sackchaser and Juvy, and justice for them.